From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big midday here on LALATE. Great news about your fourth stimulus check, that monthly stimulus check that starts in the month of July. I'll be going over the credible details about how much and who gets it. But for the first time ever, I'm going to go over also what's not in the fourth stimulus package that you need to be financially prepared for because they're currently slated to expire. What are the details? Then I'll be cutting back over to fifth stimulus and the incredible SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and survivor benefits reform that's coming in the fifth stimulus. And I'll be going over the incredible big money that's coming live next week that came live this week. And the money that's automatic and not automatic. How do you get it? How do you get this big moolah? Because a lot of money, and it's third stimulus money, and it's available. I'm going to go over all the details for you because guess what? It's your money. And it was slated to have land in your bank account. I'll go over all those details and more on a big, happy Saturday midday recording of Noontime LALATE. Hey, good noontime, everybody. How you doing? It's Saturday. I hope you're having a beautiful Saturday across the board. A lot of exciting, great details happening today, and I'm so excited you have joined me. Wall Street is anticipating the excitement across the board for fourth stimulus next week as well. And there's a series of items that are in the fourth stimulus check and fourth stimulus package that you may think that are in there, but some that are and some that aren't. I'll be going over all those details in this recording. I'll also be going over the big money for SSI reform under fifth stimulus and more. But if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also like this video, and if you've not become a member, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. All right, let's get to the great details across the board. Fourth stimulus is the fourth stimulus package. And the fourth stimulus check update for today of 2021 is that you're getting a monthly stimulus check, so says the Democrats, starting in the month of July and continuing their month after month in the fourth stimulus package. Remember, they write the bill, they do the add-ons. And what is that add-on they're going to do? A stimulus check that's monthly. That add-on has a slightly different approach to it if you're a House member versus a Senate member. And throughout this recording, you're going to see me detail how news is to the book. News is to the bill. And it's important for you to know a series of things throughout this recording you're going to see for the first time ever, that people are reporting just really incorrect news, and I'm going to try to bring you back in on point. First, the House members, Tlaib and Jalapal, are among the House proponents for those monthly stimulus checks. Their proposal is written in bill form right here. Here it goes. $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. And as it says, $1,000 monthly stimulus checks for the remainder of the pandemic, and then for 1 year after the end of the crisis. So the language is very clear there. One YouTube channel is telling you that Tlaib and Jalapal only propose stimulus checks for the rest of the pandemic. You just saw that's absolutely incorrect. Absolutely incorrect, and he should know better. It says right there the stimulus checks that Tlaib and Jalapal are proposing is for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year. It's an entire additional year. Now, that's the House members. The senators, on the other hand, have a different approach. Let's go over how the senators' approach differs from the House approach, and let me go over what the money at stake for you would differ across the board. The House members propose, as you see, the stimulus checks for 6 months plus 1 year. The senators propose it from now to December. Here is what the House members have said. The House members want, as you saw, $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter. The senators' amount is unknown. And here, yet again, a series of YouTube channels have literally butchered the subject. I'll explain to you in a second what they're incorrectly reporting. but it's important for you to know what the word on the street is. Word on the street is that the fourth monthly stimulus checks from the senators would be $2,000 a month over 6 months, which is $12,000, or $1,400 a month over 6 months, which is $8,400. Now, here is where the misreporting is heating up even today. The same two offending YouTube channels are reporting that Elizabeth Warren has, in the last few days, told the president she wants $2,000 a month stimulus checks. No, she hasn't. No, she hasn't. That is actually incorrect. That, first of all, the person is signing a very old letter. And then the second thing that's being misreported is that the senators have agreed that they're going to pay $2,000 a month. No, they haven't. They've actually not agreed upon the number. They've left the number open-ended for a specific purpose. Finally, what is happening across a lot of YouTube channels in the last 2 days, again, it's the same two offenders, is that these two YouTubers are taking old, very old stories from 2020 and saying that, yeah, this was 2020, but there's talk about it now. Okay, let me explain to you what talk about it means and what talk about it doesn't mean. It's important for you to understand that when a bill is introduced during a Senate session or a House session, the bill dies by the end of that Senate session if it's not called for a vote. We're currently in a Senate and House session that ends in July. So anything that's been introduced as a bill, if it's not called for a vote, it's dead at the end of the Senate session. So a series of YouTube channels have been quoting bills that have been dead since last year. That's the first problem. The second problem is that they're using this expression, talking about, that people are sort of talking about things. And so they're using these superlatives of enormous numbers for forced stimulus checks that are absolutely not true. No, first of all, that people are talking about it. We actually have the writings. We actually have the bills. We actually have the Senate Democrats' letters. We have the House Democrats' letters, and we have the House Democrats' bills. So when they say they're talking about it, we hear that they're talking about it. It means that they're trying to sell you clickbait. It means that it's absolutely not happening, and they're trying to pitch you a narrative based upon something they may have seen from 2020. Lastly, and this is really disconcerting for my SSI and SSDI and Social Security and Railroad Benefits viewers, that one of these offenders is now saying that there's talk about they're going to put $200 a month of SSI and SSDI into the forced stimulus. No. There's not currently talk about that's being put into the forced stimulus. And they're also, again, citing 2020 documents. Oh boy, I can say 2017 documents and tell you people are talking about, but maybe they're talking about in their sleep or, when they're at Neverland Ranch. So that is the forced stimulus. How much you're going to get, when you're going to get it, and how it's going to go over. Let me go over all those details right now. Leader Schumer and Speaker Pelosi both confirmed that the vote will be July 4th. The stimulus check you would get would start in the month of July for the month of July. I always make that very clear because people always ask that question. If the vote's in July, when are we going to get the check? In July. It would be July for July because it's a monthly stimulus check. August, you get August, and September, you get September. And ultimately, this has to go by a reconciliation process. The reconciliation process is a 2-month process with 2 bills. I've been detailing them throughout today. I detailed them earlier on Mornings LA. And those 2-bill process would feature the add-on of the stimulus checks. Here's what's important for you to also know is that the House Democrats can put the multiple stimulus checks in it when they have it in subcommittee, or leave it to the senators who would introduce it during the vote-a-rama, the final 2 days in which the bill lands in the Senate. That vote-a-rama is a 48-hour period of time in which people introduce amendments. And the reason it's important you understand these amendments is about what I'm about to get to in a second. I'm about to get to a second what's expiring, and that ultimately you may want other amendments. Yep, that's coming up later in this recording. Stay with me. Also coming up later in this recording is the incredible money for 5th stimulus in the fall. But cutting back to forced stimulus, who gets these stimulus checks? If you're making less than $75,000, it's you. Marry a couple $150,000 or less, it's you. If you're on SSI and SSDI, it is you. There is no income benefits change from third stimulus to 4th stimulus. The income threshold are the same as how they were before, and they would continue across the board. Also important for you to understand is that if you're on SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits, you would get it for the same amount that you got it for the third stimulus. So with that, some other questions I often have for stimulus is it taxable? It is not taxable. It is not a taxable event. And away we go. That is your fourth stimulus check update of 2021 right now. And what's important then to turn to is the money that's expiring. Oh boy, there's a lot of things expiring. Unemployment, rental assistance, and business grants are all set to expire between third and fourth stimulus. There's currently no plot. There's currently no language. There's currently no bill. There's currently no proposed amendments we've seen that extends third stimulus items to fourth stimulus. But the door's not closed. So Purple Power, do your thing. Let's go over the items that are expiring that you may want to try to keep them renewed. Number one, all the unemployment benefits from the federal government. And these date back to March of 2021. 2020. They are FPUC going away. That's the $300 a week that goes on top of your UI and PUA going away. PUA going away. That is the benefits that provides unemployment assistance to people who are gig workers, sole practitioners, Uber and Lyft drivers. PUA going away. PEUC, which is the extension of your unemployment benefits for additional weeks on the federal government, going away. Should it go away? I don't think so. I don't think so. The long-term unemployment numbers remain the same. The short-term unemployment numbers are actually getting worse. Yeah, you saw that data on Thursday. Let me show you that graphic from Thursday. Here we go. On Thursday, the new unemployment claims came in higher than the week before. So why are we getting rid of certain types of unemployment benefits? We shouldn't. We shouldn't. FPUC, PUA, PUC, I don't think they should expire. So if you agree, go on social media, go on Twitter, go on Facebook, share this video. Hashtag FPUC, hashtag PUA. All those hashtags, and of course Purple Power, make the push. Say, don't let these things expire. To make it even clear, let me go over the data and the timeline for this. The vote, I said to you, for fourth stimulus is July. Why is it July? Because they go on vacation. They go on vacation. So when they do those fourth stimulus checks, those multiple stimulus checks, you also want to ensure that they also extend the other programs. Because guess what? They're gone to September. They're gone to September, and you don't want those programs to expire. If you were with me last year, you saw what happened. They went on vacation, they let stuff expire. And to this day, they never brought it back. We don't want another FPUC Retro 2.0. We don't want FPUC to expire, and then suddenly they don't put it back until December of this year, and then there's 3 more months you're missing FPUC. We don't want that. Don't let these things expire if you don't want them expiring. Number 2, what's the next things that are set to expire? The rent, the utilities, the mortgage assistance, and the rent eviction moratorium and the mortgage forbearance. What's the likelihood of these? Here's my personal opinion. You're hearing for the first time today on Noontime LALATE about this subject matter. They have made clear, congressional leaders, that they're not going to extend the eviction moratorium or the mortgage forbearance because they're giving you money for rent and for your home now, so that under third stimulus, so that you can make your bills going forward. I don't know if I agree with that logic, but following that logic, if that's the case, then pay some more rent and mortgage assistance for a few more months to October and November. If you're going to lift the eviction moratorium and the mortgage forbearance, then pay that additional sum of money. Then, also under fourth stimulus that's expiring from third stimulus, all the business items. PPP, created by COVID, created by stimulus check package number 1, going away. EIDL grant, going away. Shuttered venue grant, restaurant grant, going away. So ultimately, if you want these things to continue, go get them. So what is the new money that went live this week? What is the new money that's going live next week? And how do you get into what are the items? I'm going to go over that right now. But coming up late in the second half of this recording, stay with me. It's a big recording. I go over the other items of fifth stimulus. And earlier this morning on Mornings at LALATE, I wasn't able to cover the full list of what's in the fifth stimulus. I'm going to go over that in the second half of this recording. So stay with me. All right, so going live. Wow, this is really exciting. So all the money for the renters and the homeowners from third stimulus is going live next week. This is the rent, the utilities, the homeowners assistance, the mortgage, the property owners' utility bills, going live next week. And what I wanted to make very clear to you, because it could be complicated, is that second stimulus rent is expiring. Third stimulus rent is starting. So some people are hearing, my city and state says they're running out of money. It's ending. It's second stimulus. That's second stimulus. Now we're on to third stimulus. That is going live next week. I have a sense, but it's purely a guess, that EIDL $5,000 grant is going live next week. I just have a sense about it. Why? Because just yesterday, the restaurant grant went live at sba.gov. Go apply. And the Shuttered Venue Grant, which is not just for venues, went live last week as well. Also, about to go live next week, two other items. One, money to you, and another one, something you have to do to get ready to get the money. What are they? The first one is the refund from the IRS, and the second one is the payment from the IRS for children. All right, let's go over the first one. The first one has also been the culprit of those. I always said a very nasty word. Those ridiculous YouTube channels. They've been reporting that you're getting a $10,200 stimulus check from the IRS next week. No one's getting $10,000 from the IRS, and it's not a stimulus check either. Let me explain to you what you're getting and who's getting it and how much you're getting. If you filed a 2020 tax return and you paid taxes on your unemployment, you're getting a return of the taxes that was paid for that unemployment, just that part of the tax bill. So let's say you had $5,000 of unemployment assistance in 2020. You filed a tax return. You had $900 in taxes you paid that year, of which $100 of it was for the taxes on your unemployment. How much are you getting back from IRS? $100. You're not getting back the full tax bill you paid, $900. You're not getting back you're not getting back the unemployment you got like another time. You're not getting $10,200. You're getting $100 back. So it's just, boy. And let's make it even clear. You paid $100 and you're getting $100 back. It's a break even. It's zero. It cancels out. It's zero. It's not stimulus. It's not stimulating whatsoever because you're not making a penny on the situation. So boy, really not where it needs to be. Then the children's money starts in the month of July, and this is what you need to know. It is for anyone who makes less than $75,000 a year. So if you make nothing, you qualify. And the IRS knows that child exists. The two types of people who need to do something and do something very soon are the following. A person who doesn't file tax returns, or a person who does file tax returns and doesn't list the child. Your tax return is due in a couple days. It's coming up in mid-May, so it's just around the corner. This is the 2020 tax return. What you have to do is go to a tax preparer if you do not file tax returns and you have a child. Also go to a tax preparer if you do file tax returns and you've not been listing that child and IRS doesn't know the child exists. Remember, it's $3,600 or $300, pay $250 or $300 a month over 12 months, and they gotta know it's your child. They aren't Maury. They are not Maury. So coming up after the commercial break, I'll go over the big money under fifth stimulus. Yeah, there is a lot of money under fifth stimulus. And I'll be going over how the SSI reform is happening under fifth stimulus. Stay with me. I'll be back after the commercial break. And drop questions and comments during the commercial break. I might answer them on air. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues in just a little bit with Afternoons LALATE, in which I jump into the live chat and interact with you. I don't want to miss you, so make sure you tune in for that show. That's in 2 hours from now. That's the first Afternoons LALATE. It is our Q&A, question and answer show every day. So if you have questions to ask, that is definitely the show to ask them in. Although I'll answer a few of your questions from the commercial break in just a second here. Also, then we go into evening schedule with our second Afternoons LALATE show. That is the big one. That is the big one. I'm in the live chat on that one. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by Evenings LALATE at 8 p.m. and then LA Late Night. That irreverent Sirloin and Javila Late Laugh a Minute. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I want you part of this family, the fastest growing channel that's breaking every YouTube record. 400,000 subscribers in 12 months. Let's do it. Also, like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes. It really helps in the algorithm ranking. If you're in the live chat right now, hit that like button if you've not hit it yet. Also, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. During the commercial break, I saw 2 questions from 2 people, both about Social Security benefits. The great news is I'm going over it right now. And in fact, guess what? Congress is as well. Congress is changing your benefits in the 5th stimulus package. The 5th stimulus package will be the place at which they make those changes. That SSI reform, which I broadly call SSI reform, impacts a lot of people. I'll be going over the details of it in just a second. Let me broadly tell you the money. First, they're going to increase your benefit levels. Then they're going to remove the asset limits. Then they're going to add an inflationary benchmark. And then they are going to remove the income exclusion and remove the marriage penalty. All right, let's go over this money right now. First, 5th stimulus SSI reform. Who is this for? It is for SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, SSA, and SSA survivors. If you have multiple benefits, all your benefits will be impacted. What are they proposing to do? To raise your benefits up to a new number. Your benefits would be raised to a new number lifetime. Second, they're going to tie you to inflation as your benchmark. So inflation goes up 3 to 5% every year. Your benefits will go up 3 to 5% every year. And if there's a massive runaway inflation, then your benefits will run away. Then they're going to remove the asset cap, which dates back to 1980s law. And that would allow you to keep more than $3,000 on hand for some of you. They're going to remove the income cap, that if you want to work, you don't have to work. You can go work and bring home money. $1,000, $2,000 a month, $12,000 to $24,000 a year. Keep it in the bank and still be able to stay on benefits. And then finally, they're removing the marriage penalty. If you're familiar with the marriage penalty, then you've been suffering for it. They're getting rid of it. Now, here are things for you to know. When would you see this impact on your pocketbook? This is a reconciliation process. It would start in September, take 2 months, and so you would see this around November. And you would see your benefits then impact in the month of November. Remember, your benefits are reassessed in December. And away we go. To which I saw a few series of questions from viewers that said, are we getting 200 or 267? Neither. This is what's happening. The $200 of SSI and SSDI from Elizabeth Warren is literally not in any document, any bill, or any discussion anywhere. And this is, again, where unscrupulous YouTube channels are taking old press clippings from 2020 and talking about SSI and say, they're talking about it. They're not talking about it. No one's talking about it. There's absolutely no talk about the SS200 not happening. Rather, this is what's happening. And in fact, this is more money than $200. And the SS200 that Elizabeth Warren proposed was for 12 months. This is what they're proposing for a lifetime. So this is 1,000% better. And guess what they're talking about this time? They're not talking about it. They're writing it. And the writing is absolutely incredible, pages after pages after pages. Next, someone also said that the fifth stimulus package has nothing for seniors, that it's all for children. This is obviously a very easy response based upon the way the president introduced it this week, but it's actually incorrect. There's a lot of money in the fifth stimulus package for seniors, for single people, for non-family people, and let's go over them right now. First, there is about 12 provisions in the fifth stimulus package, and I go over each of them one after another in there. Before I do, one of the things I want to go over is money that's in the fourth stimulus package that's also for seniors. Remember, in addition to stimulus check, seniors on the fourth stimulus package, SSI and SDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits, can get SNAP, can get that rent, can get that utilities, can get that mortgage assistance, can also get the mortgage assistance. If you're new to this channel back, I think it was in January, I used to tell viewers that there's about 5 items you can get from the third stimulus package beyond just a stimulus check. And I always told viewers it's about $5,000 to $10,000. That was the show purple. Let me broadly go over it right now. In addition to the stimulus check under the third stimulus package, you can get rent. Rent is anywhere sometimes between $5,000 to $10,000. Then you could get SNAP. A family of 4 in Hawaii gets $1,400 normally, but SNAP is now increased for 15%. Yes, if you're on SSDI and SSDI, you can't get SNAP. Yes, if you're a senior by yourself, you can get SNAP as well. SNAP is hundreds of dollars a month, and over a single year, it could add up to over $12,000. Third, you can get help with utilities, mortgage assistance, property owners assistance. Literally, between all these different items, you could see close to $10,000. And that's not including the stimulus check. That's a third stimulus package, and that money's just going live next week. So there's a lot of money for seniors under third stimulus. But let me go over what's also available for single individuals and also for seniors under the fifth stimulus package. Under the fifth stimulus package, first, there is some child care. So they do child care, ensuring families have a portion towards child care services. Then there is medical leave programs. So if you're a single individual and you have a family member who died, a cousin or an aunt or a mother, a sister or brother that dies, you can get up to 12 weeks of paid stay at home. Yep, that's for single individuals, not just for families. Then free school for preschool 3 to 4, free 2 years of free school for community colleges, money for the Pell Grant, and then money to increase college retention. So this is for college students. Remember, there's $1,700 under the third stimulus package for college students. Reach out to your college advisor to get that. Then there's 2 years of free college if you're from a single parent that makes less than $125,000. And then here comes the big money for seniors and single individuals. They're decreasing the health insurance premiums for individuals permanently. That is currently the law under third stimulus. And then come the final 3 most controversial items. One of the things I did not make clear early in this video, I want to make, although I make it clear every single day, I want to repeat it again. The increase in people's benefits on SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits under fifth stimulus does not hurt something else. I always have someone that asks a question. It's a viable question. But these are sophisticated legislators. They know how to fix one thing so it helps everything. So they're not going to increase your benefits to hurt you for Medicare or Medicaid. They're not going to hurt you for SNAP. They're going to increase your benefits so it helps you across the board. All right. So now let's go to the final 4 items, the final 3 items, which are the most controversials. First, they're going to increase the earned income tax credit, which is a single individual with the hazard pay. Before the third stimulus package, the earned income tax credit dates back, 10 years. So the third stimulus package changed the law and said we're going to do it 19 years or older. You made less than $25,000 or less. You weren't as an essential worker. And we're going to give you $1,504 as a tax credit. They want to make that now the law. I think it's great, but I think it needs to be broader. I think it needs to be a higher tax credit than 1504, and I think it needs to be a higher threshold. I've had a lot of people who make $30,000 a year said, well, I made more than 25, so I don't get anything. Yeah, under the third stimulus, so I think it needs to be modified. Next is a child care tax credit. So if you have a child and you have child care costs, this is really good, but I think it needs to be bigger. They want to take the third stimulus law and make it permanent. What is it? Child, you can deduct up to 50% of your child care costs up to $5,000, or married couple, or two or more children up to $8,000. I think it's good, but I think it needs to be bigger. If you have 4 kids, why are you only able to deduct $8,000? Not particularly fair. They should not cap something. If you spend the money, let it be deductible. It just makes sense. You spent the money, let it be deductible. And finally, the most controversial one, and the one that I don't think makes sense, which is the children check. I detailed it earlier in this video. That's a $3,600 or $3,000 starting in the month of July. What's wrong with it? It's too much money. They're trying to do it over 6 years, which is $24,000 a child. $24,000 a child. Well, it actually gets worse. Representative Neal, who's head of the Ways and Means Committee, who goes over and actually writes part of this bill when it goes by reconciliation, he's introduced legislation. He wants to do it for 17 years. So that newborn child would get $80,000 of benefits. Too much, I think, across the board. And so with that, you are up to date with the money under fourth stimulus, third stimulus, and fifth stimulus. What's important to understand is that there's money under third stimulus for everyone. Upwards of about $10,000 for third stimulus for money for everyone. And some of the money is just going live next week. Reach out to the volunteers if you need help with rent, utilities, food, or internet. That's third stimulus. Fourth stimulus is in July. And fourth stimulus, while it has those incredible multiple stimulus checks, it doesn't have those other things. So push Purple Power to get them in there. And then finally, fifth stimulus in the fall. Fifth stimulus in the fall is really the great reform to the benefits across the board that'll pay you a lot more money than anything has any seen before. If you like this video, please hit that like button now. Let's try to do 2,000-3,000 likes. Also, consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP, and at least subscribe to this channel. I want you part of this family, and I appreciate all the love and support. Everyone has been very, very nice over the last few days. It's been a really wonderful group of people. But please be very inclusive to new people you see join the chat. So if you see a newbie, say, hi, newbie. And if you're a newbie, say, I'm new here, so that people interact with you and make you part of this family. Let's look at the programming schedule coming up the remainder of today. I'm back in 2 hours from now with Afternoons LA. That is the interactive live chat show. People love that show because I literally get into the live chat. I don't give too much of a narrative about the packages. I go right into the chat and answer your questions. And then we go into the tape shows tonight. Afternoons LA, it's going to be a big show tonight. You don't want to miss it. Then Evenings LA, and then we go into late night. I'm so excited you're here, and we've had a full room today. I see Hugh, and I see Michelle, and I see Sandra, and there is Barbara, and there's Lynn Glenn. And who else do I see in the room? And there is Michelle and Crystal, and there's Roberto, Chef Roberto, and there's Slap and Delaphin. And there is Loretta and American Patriot. How are you? How are you? How's everyone doing? And there's Kim, and there's Betty. Really incredible, great news. And there you are. And Betty has a comment about how much benefits should be. So if you do have a position that something needs to go bigger, bolder, then certainly go on social media. You saw my opinion of the search of certain things. I thought certain things need to be bigger and bolder. On Evenings LA tonight, I'm going to go through the provisions in here that I think need to be modified even more under fifth stimulus. But thank you for joining me. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, keep on smiling. I'll see you in 2 hours from now with Afternoons LA.